Good evening, all. I almost started that with a muted audio, which would be rubbish, right? Hopefully that controls the audio a little, and you guys can hear me okay. I've just realised that I've got like 27 different audio inputs all doing the same thing. So let me know in chat if you're here and you can hear me. Citizen Scott, Citizen Ninja, Notorious, Jock Cop, Stunner, Coramor, Ray, Firebrand, Jadomo, Dell. Good to see you all, Dell. Good to have you back, buddy. You know I love you muchly. Yeah, good to see you all. We've got a few things to talk about this week, which is going to be fun. And I hope everyone is doing just fine. Target Drone, he'd live stream. Well done, mate. Good job. Yeah, no, you almost got me, Ninja. I did it all, looked at the camera, then looked down and went, crap, my mic's red. So, yeah, that didn't go well. I was like, click, yay! Yeah, who knows? Who knows if it's going to be me or not? I've just realised that I've put my stream on normal latency, so there will be a bit of a delay between what you see and what you say and what I see. So please bear with me. I will be back with you and responding to stuff as quickly as I can. Yeah, so I can hear you. Woo! Target Drone managed to catch a scream. Good, mate. Glad that you're here. Good to see you. Jadomo says all okay. Lots to talk about, says Firebrand, and he is not wrong. Good to see everyone. I just wanted to say again, for those that didn't catch it last week, thanks to all those Jadomo citizens, Stakarogord, and everyone else that made the Siege of Orison game 2 Fridays ago. We had a community games evening. We did 2 fully complete Sieges of Orison. To be fair, the last one we kind of joined late, and then, yeah, kind of like just snuck in at the end and found the stuff. But yeah, that was all good. It was good stuff. Damn, so it isn't live, says Target Drone. No, just judging by where I'm like kind of seeing it out of the corner of my eye, which by the way is really kind of off-putting. But yeah, I'm kind of looking at out of the corner of my eye, and yeah, I can kind of see where I am with the stream, so I think you're about 8 to 10 seconds behind. So pre-recorded nonsense. I do apologise. I will do better for next stream. I'll have you on low or even ultra low, although I think my stream struggles a bit on ultra low, and so you guys, I can have a little bit more interaction. It's a little bit more spot on. And funnily enough, Stakarogord has it. Looking forward to doing some Xenothreat with you all. Shadow Girl, don't know if she's here, but Shadow Girl gave me the runaround in the back of her RSI Scorpius. Loads and loads of fun blowing stuff up in the back turret. Bless her, she even let me like fire on my own, so we didn't kill stuff instantly. That was really good fun. So I'm looking forward maybe to getting a group of us to do that at Xenothreat. It would be really cool to like follow Cora Hammerhead or get a squadron of Scorpii, and all that sort of stuff, but we'll have to see. If I'm only 10 seconds behind, says Mad Teapot, then that's good for him. Well, that's what we like. Is the Connie getting a rework, or is it just rumours? As far as I'm aware, it's just rumours at the moment. Although, as a proud Taurus owner, I am kind of hoping that that will be the case. I love my Taurus. I've always loved my Taurus. I've even flirted a little bit with the C1 and given that some of a go. But to be honest, nothing replaces my Taurus. It's the big ship that I wanted to get hold of right at the beginning and kind of enjoy. So yeah, unfortunately, because I have work next week, and it turns out it's going to be a bit of a hectic week, I am not on the alcohol. However, I will go for a 0 sugar Coke. I don't expect a Coke sponsorship anytime soon, because I don't think they watch stuff like this. But yeah, you know, whatever. Stoford's, Brewdog, if you're listening, sponsorship would be great. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and then we've got a couple of things to talk about. The EPTU stuff. There's been some changes. We're seeing the first master modes. It's kind of good fun, right? Judomos is definitely out for that. We need the Perseus, says Macho. Yeah, so the lineup, my understanding, is that we're going to get the Polaris, then we're going to get the Galaxy, then the Perseus is the next in the pipeline as they work through all of the RSI ships using that common design language, and the fact that people are going to be, by the end of it, very, very familiar. So you're not having to like relearn the design language. I know the design team will know it all, but there's a difference between being aware of Origin's design language and being on the third, fourth, or like fifth ship. So yeah, that's all good. The love between Badgers and his Taurus is fierce and upsetting to behold. Yeah, there's some worrying animal connotations in there that we're not going to go into, but good to see you, Napo. Glad you're here, bud, and looking forward to catching up with you, Caroline and young Lucas, later on in the week. That's going to be cool. So you got to change the name to Coke Drinkers with Game Problems. I feel like if I put Coke in there, like YouTube might throw a bit of a fit. I feel like I might have to be more specific, but you know, drinkers, it didn't necessarily mean alcohol. I mean, that's just an assumption, right? But yeah, Taurus went up recently, so maybe Andromeda next. Yeah, there's been so much kind of what's the word that I'm looking for? There's been so much compaction of like all the cargo ships in that space that it seems to make sense that they would need to, sort the pricing out a little bit. And the Taurus it's got a lot of cargo space for what it is. So yeah. I wonder if we can now have default size 5 gimbals on the Connies. Soon, TM, that is. So, as far as we are aware, there is no reason that will not happen, because those guns don't need to be fixed for any reason. They're not like the Ares weapons or the railgun on the Idris. There's no reason they can't be gimbaled, so gimbaled size 5's coming up, I think. Garmin01, good evening, buddy. Good to see you in. Target drone. As long as you drink it, no problem. Coke snorters with gaming problems might get your stream cut, though. Do you know what? Right, and I'm probably getting demonetized just for saying that out loud. Good bait, sir. Well done. I consider myself fully debated. But yeah, whatever. I've said some kind of crazy things on here, and YouTube doesn't have a problem with it. I kind of get the feeling that the YouTube algorithm is just kind of going, ugh, it's this guy again, kind of, and it's just giving that up. Interesting. So Edison says, in the EPTU, Connies all have size 5. Are they gimbaled size 5s, Edison, or are they just straight up size 5s? Because they had size 5s before, right? It was just they weren't gimbaled. So are they gimbaled now? Is that what's going on? Yeah. Yeah. From what I hear, Edison says they're going to work on the Galaxy and the Perseus at the same time because they're smaller than the Polaris. The Polaris team will be split up, possibly, or maybe we'll just get those ships out quicker individually. I don't know. Drop Jugget, good evening, bud. Good to see you. Drop, you keep standing me up, mate. You keep saying you're going to come to the event, and then you don't turn up to the event, and then I'm like, where's Dropped? And then I feel sad, and you know. We were just saying, though, when the new Xeno threat stuff kicks in, and they've kind of hinted that some of it's going to be before 323, which looks to be in April, which is no real big shock to anyone. Star Citizen in patch a month late or a quarter late, shocker. They've said that there's going to be like a pre-Xeno threat event that we may see in 322, and that was that big Inside Star Citizen they did, or the Star Citizen Live, sorry, at the very first one. So not last week, the week before. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Citizen Scott says, looks like they're giving everything the max hardpoint size guns, and I'm sure there will be exceptions, but it looks like they move. Yeah, so basically now, the reason they gave was that the whole gimbals requiring you to go a size down, it wasn't immediately apparent to new players or players not familiar with the system how that works. So they've opted for the gimbals now don't require you to go one size down in guns. So everything can just have gimbals. So it looks like gimbals in the new state of play. The only place where that won't apply is when it's very obvious that it would be weird for that ship to have a gimbal. And the Ares, Ion, and Inferno are really good things of that. Because you've got this massive gun bolted into the side of the ship. To suddenly having it move around independently doesn't make sense. And yeah, I get that. I understand where they're coming from. The railgun on the Idris, this massive thing just bolted under the ship, to have it suddenly move independently would be very weird when it's not mounted in a turret or a mounting or anything like that. Interestingly, if you want to know the military difference between a turret and a mounting, a turret actually goes into the internals of the ship, A mounting is something you bolt onto the exterior of the ship. There you go. A little bit of military trivia you never thought you knew. Carlton Walkfield, good evening, bud. Welcome into the stream. So yeah. So if the Connie has size 5s and the 400i ends up with size 4s, the MSR will end up stuck on size 3s. True. And we'll have to see how that gets balanced. I'm still used to fixed. Don't get on with gimbals most of the time. And of course, as far as I'm aware, you can still take the gimbals off if you so desire. But you know, that hasn't been said explicitly, but they haven't said that you can. So, yeah. So the 400i doesn't have turrets. So that's a like a real world naval thing. Like turrets at the moment are, you know, things. But things like remote turrets would actually be mountings. So there'd be remote mountings, not remote turrets. And then like anything where you access the turret from inside the ship would be a turret. So the Redeemer would have turrets and mountings and, yeah, you know, military stuff. It's boring, right? It doesn't need to be copied into the grade. But I just thought, you know, a little bit of trivia. If it comes up at the pub quiz, you are now forewarned. And forewarned is forearmed. So, you know, ta-da. Yeah. Scissor Scott, same, doesn't get on with gimbals. Absolutely. Yes, so the 400i doesn't have turrets. This is correct. I think I was saying everything is always on a gimbal and it's just a mode now. Interesting. So you can turn the gimbals off and have them like fixed. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's even less confusing and fidgety than having to go on to each mounting and remove the gimbal. And yeah, that makes sense. And being able to swap between the two, we like that. Surely we'll get the Apollo and the Zeus in between. So the Zeus is going to be by the end of the year. They confirmed that. The Apollo, don't know. It wasn't in the graphic. That's not to mean that it's not going to come. But don't know. But I'm really looking forward to the Apollo for the medical gameplay. I know a few others are really looking forward to it. So yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. But Arcane DGR, sorry, dude, I did see you earlier in chat and I didn't say hello. So good evening. Yeah, hello all. Good day to you. Good to see you, buddy. I did see your salute earlier and then completely forgot to mention it. The thing is, if the Connie gets all size 5s, does that mean we lose the bottom ones to landing damage again? Good point. Possibly. That might be a reason to not gimbal. Possibly. But, you know, it might be that they just limit them to size 4s. But we'll see. Apparently the Zeus ES loaner is now the C1 and the MR loaner is the Cutty Blue. Yeah, the MR loaner makes sense. The ES one being the C1. Yeah, I get that. I see where that's going. But yeah. Cool. So we shall have a look in just a moment at a few of the bits and pieces out and about. Obviously, it's the free fly. I figured that out when I logged into Seraphim Station and there were ship guns inside the rest station. So yeah, tell me it's free fly without telling me it's free fly. There are guns everywhere, ships all over the place. Coming down to New Babbage today, there were just ships like abandoned outside. I know there's normally outside the space station, there's a couple in the trees, but there were like 14, 15 of them. And we're not talking small ships, which would indicate it's probably not part of the free fly. But I get the feeling that a lot of people are like lending ships out, and then people don't know how to get rid of them, so they're just landing them in the trees, and that's that. But there were Hercules down there, and there were Corsairs all over the place, and exactly the sort of ships that people coming in to try the game were trying to get other people to lend them. So yeah, that. And of course they got down there and then realised they couldn't get permission because they don't own the ship to land, so they just land in the trees, and that's that. I wonder when we will get the Legionnaire this year. Invictus makes sense from a timing point of view, but I've no idea where they are in the development. So I guess we find out. Salvage time, says Takara God. Mate, there was... Can you salvage in her? I don't think you can salvage in the Armistice Zone, right? Otherwise, oh my god, the amount of stuff that you could salvage from there would be crazy. Have I lost the camera again? Is that what's just happened? Let me know if I've lost the camera. I think it's just gone, right? Let me see. God. I've broken it. Hopefully I can fix it this way. And if this doesn't fix it, I'll do it another way. Nope. I know what that is. Stand by. I think my phone's doing this weird thing again, where yeah. I mean, it's probably no bad thing that I'm not on camera. You know, I'm not exactly the most photogenic of people. Let us see you. That's just creepy. Stop it. Go away. Why are you like this? Bear with me a moment. I shall trust this. Yes, of course, trust this computer. You silly, silly machine. You can around Lagrange stations. Got to. Okay. Interesting. Let's try this again. Hey, there we are. Ta-da! Now, hopefully I can do this without hitting the standby button. Only one way to find out, right? Dum-de-dum. No, I've just hit off again, I think. Ugh. Why? Why? Silly camera nonsense. Oh, that's why. I flipped it round. I didn't mean to flip it round. Why is it flipped round? There we go. Well, I guess this is going to be our technical part of the evening, right? This is going to be the bit where it all goes horribly, horribly wrong. But, you know, it's been a while, so why not? It's not a drinking stream unless it's Badgers screaming at his computer for an hour. Yes, absolutely that. This is what happens when you completely jury rig your setup, I guess. The more question question: what to drink when in Manchester this sitcom? So, Citizen Scott asks the correct question: is it Manchester for sure? Right. Whilst I'm sorting this problem out, here's what we know. We know that WikiLeaks. Why did I say WikiLeaks? That WikiLeaks, idiot. Leaks has said that apparently at Bar Citizen, Barcelona, Xylo let slip that it is all going to be in Manchester this year, the CitizenCon stuff, right? That's what we think we know at this stage. Hey, hello. Long time no see, right? So yeah, that's what we think we know right now, and that's it. There has been, as far as I'm aware, no further official word or confirmation from CIG. I reckon that's going to last about 2 minutes, and I'm going to disappear again, but fuck it, whatever. Because this is the way my day's going. So we'll see. I think it's worth, just putting a pin in it and waiting for the official announcement, because as we know, leaks have given us a lot of good information. Also, leaks have given us about 50% utter horseshit. So, like, we could go either way on this, right? So we're not, I mean, even those of us that know, and I know that people in chat are wanting to go, and we're looking at getting a DGP Airbnb together, for people that want to go. So, we'll definitely, even if we don't have enough room for everyone, we will definitely see you at CitizenCon. You'll see me walking around. You won't be able to miss the beard or the belly. I feel like both of them will help you identify me. I might even wear the DGP hoodie, just so there is, and yes, there is a DGP hoodie with that logo on the back, and on the front it's got the joystick, and underneath it you'll see the word Badgers Nadgers, because that's my full, people call us Badgers for short, but that's the full nickname. So yeah, it would be absolutely great, and I'm looking this time at going up, maybe certainly a day ahead, going back the day after, so that there's time to meet people in the bar and that sort of stuff, right? Because this is what I want to have happen is that this just becomes one cool community where people can meet up and drink and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, pinch of salt, that one. Pinch of salt, absolutely. So Arcane DGR says, I have a sense, just because of how often it's mentioned, that drones will really open up several ships that they are central to and modify existing ships. Yeah, so obviously Carrack is going to be one. Reclaimer is going to be one. Drone gameplay is going to be very, very interesting. I'm really hoping with the medical drones that the drone actually detaches from the bed, and the bed is how you move people from the drone to the bed. It actually becomes the top of the medical bed. So the medical beds themselves can detach and be put into the drones. Because that makes sense, right? Just from a gameplay perspective. That would be really cool. Ape in Space. Dude, good to see you. Welcome back. I wish they would tell us so we can plan ahead. It's difficult to take time off with short notice. Yes, and this is one of the big problems with... you know, when it is foreign for those that are in the US coming over here, for us going over to the US. I feel like Europe might be slightly easier because there's less cost involved, but knowing in advance where you're going. I mean, I could have made LA last year, but it would have broken the bank massively. You know, it would have, I would have been on the bones of my ass eating a lot of baked beans for many, many weeks if I'd done so. So yeah, I had to be a little bit careful. Working on getting a honey badger as a pet. For me, it better not be a real one. I don't want a real honey badger. They're vicious as. But yeah. Vulcan drones are going to be very interesting too. Yeah, absolutely. So interesting you say that. The Vulcan and the Apollo are two ships that I'm massively interested in. They're stepping off points on the way up to Reclaimer on my CCU chain, as Can will no doubt tell you, because holy cow, that man had to help me out with like my CCU chains and stuff. So yeah, we've got those as stopping off points, so I'm really looking forward to seeing both. The only thing that upsets me is if I end up with a... if the Apollo comes first before the Vulcan, obviously it means I can't kind of jump there, because then I can't go back down the CCU chain to the Apollo, to the Vulcan, and then come back up again. So yeah, we'll have to see. But I think there is another one. Can confirm. Did I pick up another one? I can't remember, but I think I got a second one just in case we wanted to go from a Taurus. So potentially there is a second chain building. But yes, absolutely. That sounds like as good a place as any to announce Squadron 42 release dates, says Jedi Drifter. Yes, absolutely. Also, whoever keeps pounding the heart emoji, heart you hard, thank you ever so much. I appreciate it. But yeah, because I can see it when it's happening, and it's all that's happening on my screen at the moment. But yes, Squadron 42, you got to be careful, mate. You'll start some rumours, and that will be that. And then, you know, because I've set them out on stream, then it'll be my fault, and I'll be in trouble. There'll be this whole Inquisition. I'll get cancelled. You know, you get arrested in the UK for making jokes these days, so, you know, we got to be careful. Drop Yogurts. I'm from Wisconsin in the University of Wisconsin. Did I get that right? Is WI Wisconsin? Drop Yogurt. Did I just dox you live on stream? But yes, Wisconsin mascot is a badger. If so, moving to Wisconsin, obviously. But yes, it's still taking the 3 days. Yeah, 100%. Flights alone are too pricey. They are hugely. Unfortunately, the price drop that we saw after the pandemic lockdowns have disappeared, so now all the prices are back up to where you would expect them, and that's it. Cam is gone again. Yay! Joke police in the UK. Thought police. Macho, that's who they are. They are the thought police. Yeah, Apollo RSI rules. Don't disagree. No second chain, but you should have had a second Vulcan CCU. Yeah, that was from the Vulture, right? That's where that was coming from. So every time I pick up my phone, it starts to burn in my hand, so I think that might be what it is. Once the battery finishes charging as well, that should be the end of it. But we'll just go through this rigmarole. It's fine, because I love yous all. So yeah, I'm gonna put up with this pain so that I can inflict my thought process on you guys for the whole day. Ta-da! Also, what do you think? T-shirt was good. T-shirt choice? Bad T-shirt choice? It's that dude from Final Fantasy, right? I forget his name. But yeah, him. There you go. Ta-da! Also, you almost got a glimpse of badger boobs there, so, you know, get yourself lucky. I don't do that for just anyone. OnlyFans starting next week. Um, cancelled by your camera. Yeah, that was it. I literally said Squadron 42 release date, and my camera went nope, and that was the end of it. Yeah, that was it. Ape in Space, just give us days so we can schedule the vacation. Looks like you've had a little too much to think. Notorious. I love it. Absolutely. That 100%. Notorious wins comment of the day. Looks like you've had a little too much to think. Yeah, absolutely. Arcane, I completely agree with Happy Birthday to Apollo and Vulcan. Yeah, really interesting game links and game loops, and I get the feeling, I don't know where this comes from, but I just get the impression from the gameplay loops that people talk about versus the ones that they don't talk about, that you know, the repair, rearm, refuel stuff at the moment might not be as popular as the rest of it. So yeah, there's that. But yes, very, very cool. Right, before the camera, Foxtrot Oscars again. Let's go and have a look at some of the... Oh my god, what is going on there? So I don't know why. The RSI website's playing up. I don't know what it's doing. Why are you like this? I don't understand. But yes. Right. So let's have a look. First off, the festivals, and this is kind of where we are with what I'd said with the stream, which is my camera dies again. Dag nabbit. I give up. But yeah, so what? Whatever. We're just going to play this game, I think, all the way through. Yeah, so have you already done a big 323 overview video? So this is, I suppose this is a really interesting place to talk about it, right? The short answer is no, I haven't. However, we did cover it on stream last time round, right? And I actually made the whole theme of the video about that patch, right? And the title of that live stream was They Promise, They Deliver. I shall very quickly pop a link to it so you can save it for later in chat. And a very weird thing happened with this video. Okay, now what I don't want to happen here, ladies and gents, is I do not want this to become a flame war. This is not an invite to you guys to get into the... Sorry, there's an advert. Right, I just got to show you this, right? As I'm talking to you, I'm trying to focus, right? I'm loading the live stream up, right? Negative any volume, right? So I can show you what I mean in the comments, right? As I'm doing this, for whatever effing reason, yeah, this is what I'm seeing in the background. Right? And you might not think that's too bad, but wait till I press play. I'm talking to you, and that's what was in the background. Some dude with some purple water balloon thing in his hand, just flopping it up and down for literally no reason. Yeah, Citizen Scott, that answer, the 3 dots. Like, what the is going on? I don't understand. But here's what's really interesting about this, okay? So we got a butt ton of comments for my videos, right? 68 comments is a lot for a live stream. 2.3, sorry, wherever it is, 2.2 thousand views is a lot of views, right? For one of my live streams, especially seeing as it went mental afterwards. And what's really interesting here is I actually had to get to the point, camera again, I saw it, don't worry, I spotted it. I don't know why it's doing it. God, I hate this. I guess the Elgato face cam is going to be the next thing on my wish list. I actually had to put this up. Welcome to the Eternally Triggered. Your comments are driving some great engagement for this video. Thank you so much. Okay, that's what I put up there. Now, again, I want to say, ladies and gents, please do not take this as an invite to go in and start a flame war. If I see you doing it, I will remove the comments. I will get unimpressed Badger's face, disappointed Badger's face, which looks something like this. Right, that'll happen, and you won't like it. Okay, so here's where we had, right? They haven't actually delivered anything yet. I think in there somewhere I went there. Clickbait is clickbait. They have to make it work, fine. And then we got into all this nonsense, right? Which is where people started calling it a Ponzi scheme. Now, I'm not going to go into it, but it's not a Ponzi scheme, right? Ponzi schemes are where investments from new investors are used to pay old investors. Now, unless I've missed a trick, backers are not getting money from new backers. If they are, give me some, because I'm not getting paid by this game at all, other than covering it through YouTube. But yes, and then we have, we get people arguing about what it is. It's not yet, and then, I actually had to remove a couple of these comments. But there you go. I see uppercuts the people waiting to play. The uppercut everyone with pyro lies. They do all this sort of. So yeah. Congratulations, they're 50% finished after 10 years. Another clickbait, nothing but racing. Like, the amount of rage. So basically, what I took to doing now, because I love it, is, hey, thanks for the engagement. It really helps my channel and ensures people see this video. Ape, dude, thank you so much. Mate, Ape, please, if you are not already in the Discord and you use Discord, please use the link, come in, say hello. Mate, that's just... I'm touched, dude. That's really nice of you. Thank you ever so much. I will set that aside. That will go on a new camera. I was kind of joking about the face cam thing, but now, if that's what you're donating to, my friend, then that's where it's going to go. I'll get a camera so we don't have this fun, so I'm not constantly unplugging the screen. There we go. Mate, you're a legend. Thank you ever so much. It's never expected, but it's always appreciated. You are a hero. Thank you ever so much for that. I really do appreciate it. Dial back on the music volume. Is it still too loud? I do apologise. There we go. Is that better? Has that fixed it? Del, let me know, buddy. Yeah, I'm just running between different things. Cool. Yeah, Ape, you're absolutely a legend. Cool. But yeah, so there's lots of bits and pieces in here where people just get silly. So I've started this, thanks for the engagement. It helps my channel and that sort of stuff, right? Because the haters are coming in. And what was immediately obvious from all of these things, right, is that they are... He's going to call us dealer immediately. I just need something to bring me down, mate. That's incredible. But yeah, look, what's really evident from this is that people didn't actually watch what I was saying. They saw the title, which is something along the lines of SCCat uppercuts the doubters. They triggered because they doubters. And then they saw the thumbnail, which is something like promised they delivered. And what I was actually talking about was how they were promising it by the end of this year. And in the first patch, real patch after CitizenCon, the first patch of quarter 1, 2024, we get a huge amount of those features, right? Saw the camera. Don't worry, I'm watching it. I'm all over it, boys and girls. I've got it. I'm there. And the eternally triggered just can't handle it. What's really interesting, I think, with the eternally triggered is that they don't see the stuff that I say that's negative. They're not really bothered about when I point out that stuff's happening. They're also, they get upset whenever they're shown to be wrong. But I don't know if you've noticed. You see, remember all those posts going back to the beginning? Those of us that have been here since very early on in the project. Do you notice all those vaporware things have disappeared? So the fact that it's vaporware, those comments have all but disappeared. The comments about it just being a glorified tech demo are dropping off massively. They're still there, but they're disappearing off, right? And what bothers me about this is people will know that, I don't have a problem with the doubters themselves. Where I have a problem with the doubters is when they're trying to assume what I say, and then they put words in my mouth and go, well, you were saying this. It's like, no. Just respond to what I said, not what you think the subtext is. Just try doing that, for example. But unfortunately, I hate to say it, but there have been a couple of really negative experiences, both with the community and with certain streamers. Now, I'm not going to go into the streamers. I'm not interested in starting drama. But I have seen one streamer in the last couple of days behave in a way that I think indicates that they shouldn't be a streamer. Right? They just shouldn't. They shouldn't be a representative of the community, and a lot of their behaviours were kind of the way that I see, the what gives the community a bad name, the people that go, oh, it's just the cult of Chris Roberts. This person was behaving like that, not in the cult of Chris Roberts, but it was I have my point of view, I will not listen to anyone else, and I'm just going to assume everyone is saying this same thing because it's the argument that I can defeat. And when you pointed out that it wasn't, they didn't like it. So, there's that sort of stuff. Like people flaming more for just making a video saying the same thing CIG said. Yeah, and unfortunately, I'm not going to see if I can find it because it's not in here easy. But basically, for those that haven't seen it, Morphologist remade one of his videos and said, I see it, camera. Remade one of his videos and said, I've altered this because I wanted to put in dates and such about, what was going on. And then he got so much negative content on that people then, that he took the second video down and said, I'm not doing that again. I'm not in the place to be able to deal with it. And it's really sad that people have to deal with stuff like that. And whether or not you like individual streamers, whether or not you agree with what they've done in the past, there is a definite poor track record when people feel the need to attack them for doing what they're doing, right? If all they're doing, as you say, Citizen Scott, if all they're doing is regurgitating what CIG said, that's fine. If they're personally attacking people, like I saw happen in the previous stream, that's not okay. But Morph doesn't personally attack people, at least not to what I've seen. So that response was a bit pants. Need to be a stream piece of music that's auto leveled in case of swinging up and down. Absolutely. And here's the thing, right, is that I'm sure we all have games that we don't like. I'm not a massive fan of things like The Sims. I don't like football management games at all. I hate them. The spreadsheets, the playable spreadsheets, they wind me up. What I don't do is go and find all of those that I don't like and tell people I don't like them. I'm not a fan of Warzone. I'm not a fan of a lot of games. So I stay away from them. It's just really weird to me that people find the stuff that they don't like and they go after it. But I guess that's kind of the culture we live in right now, right? I thought that one got unlisted, removed, didn't it? Yes. I mean, all I'm saying for now, when I got someone wrong with raging on him, the correction is poor taste, in my opinion. Yeah, very possibly. But yeah, it's, it's a bit of a shame, and I think it kind of shows where we are at the minute. Maybe there are a few people out there really mad that things are finally going Star Citizen's way with some of their announcements, and people don't like it because they're being proved wrong because they've made so much of their persona about nuking, and bitching about the game and saying that it was never going to work. So yeah, poor taste is the internet's language. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Negativity and tearing things down seems to be where we are as a society now. I don't even think it's limited to the internet, right? Is that we just identify things and we tear them down without any idea of how we're going to fix it in the other way. So yeah, Avian. Then people went after him just because he said he was disappointed that there'd be no one called a patch. Basically, interesting. That's what it was it? Yeah. But he's allowed to be disappointed. We're allowed to be disappointed. We're allowed to be unsure. We're allowed to like and not like things. And you guys know, you've seen me do it in here multiple times. It's okay to disagree. The bit that I don't like is the personal attacks, calling people stupid, all that sort of stuff, right? And you do feel a little bit of attacked here on this side. And I know this is kind of like a streaming is hard, woe is me thing. But it's a little bit tough. Like, I'm really lucky with you guys. you know, you guys come in here and I vote my I say my piece, and we all seem to get on about it. It is tough sometimes when you get the random passers through who feel the need to attack you for what you're saying. I'm lucky; I've developed a thick skin through being in the Navy and everything else, right? You know, and eating that helps with the whole thick skin thing, right? But you know, it can be a little bit revealing. You do kind of bare your soul a little bit if you're being an honest streamer and you're saying people, you're saying what you think to people, and that's always what I've done, and that's what I will do. And the minute I need to stop being honest to protect myself, then I'll stop doing this. But that's going to be no time soon. I promise you that. I love engaging with you guys. The community games have been great, and you are always welcome. Right? It says community member in Discord. I wanted to give you guys that role and make you feel part of it. But there's no paywalls, there's no nothing. Never will I hide interaction with me behind a paywall. That's not the way I am. So you are more than welcome when you see me in there to come in and say hello. If I don't want to be interrupted, I've got a super secret voice channel in there that I'll go and sit in. So if I'm doing videos, you are not going to interrupt anything. Please, please, please come in and say hello. Love it. What, were you in the Navy? Says Firebrand. Yes, mate. I'm not sure if that's you're not sure, or whether you're taking the mick out of me for saying it once again. But yes, I was a lieutenant in the Royal Navy. So no flaming the flamers. No, absolutely not. You know, and you guys have seen it in here. If they're going to come and argue with me, that's fine. I don't mind them arguing with me because I have complete control over what's going on. And if they overstep the mark, I will ban them. But I'm quite happy to engage with them because it drives engagement, as we've seen with that video. Normally my streams sit around 400 or 500 views. This one's like 4.5 times that. Ridiculous numbers of views on this one because I was engaging. What bothers me about you guys is if they start having a go at you and start being very personal and offensive to you guys, I might not see it for a while, and I don't want it to sit there because I might be doing other things. I might be at work, I might be asleep, whatever, and I don't want it to sit there. Yeah. Sorry, Firebrand. Yeah. No, absolutely, mate. I just, you know, it's because a lot of people, Napo Complex included, tend to take the mick out of me when I say I'm in the Navy, because when I first started at the Coast Guard, I said it a lot. So it's just trauma. That's all it is. It's PTSD. But yes, I was a warfare officer in the Royal Navy. So I was an officer watch on the ships and navigator driving ships about. That was my jam. I was also a damage control officer. So naval firefighting, damage control, biological, radiological, nuclear, that sort of stuff. So yeah, good fun. But yeah, to be honest, I'm just amazed that Morph still reads the YouTube comments, and that's great, right? Is that YouTubers stay, even someone with as much support as he has and as many viewers as he has, he still takes time to get into the comments, and I think that's great because it keeps us grounded. It lets us know how people are reacting to what we're saying. Not that it's going to change what I say, but I also know that, you know, if that 20% of the comments are people telling me that they want to see something or they want to see less or more of something, that's really cool. He was really a tugboat captain, says Matt T-Bot. Hey, don't be silly. I was nowhere near skilled enough to be a tugboat captain. Those guys are legends. They are exceptionally good at what they do. Very cool, says Firebrand. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. He was in charge of a lot of seamen, says Del Kenobi. Wow. Someone needs a timeout. No, Del is right. I was in fact in charge of seamen. So yeah. Oh my god, YouTube is going to have so many problems with this video. It's not even going to be true. But yes, that's quite good. Dropped says thank you to Badgers and anyone else in the channel who served in the armed forces. Mate, yes, that's why we do what we do, and to my fellow veterans and current serving armed forces members in the channel, you are always welcome. You know, we are part of we might be from different services and all that sort of stuff. Unless you're in the Air Force, you are always welcome. Air Force, you can leave. You know where the door is. Out you go. It's often said that the only thing that could make the Army and the Navy see eye to eye is their combined hatred of the Air Force. And of course, anyone that's in the forces knows that that's just us and the way we bond and that sort of stuff. So I will see if I can get the camera to recenter. Are you going to recenter camera or not? No, it's not. And so I need to move it manually. Fine, whatever. Good. Anyway, I was in the Black Sea when Iran had our people hostage. I only served 4 years. Interesting, Ape. So you were Royal Navy. Sorry, I can't remember where you're from, buddy. But yes, what's really interesting is the people that Iran took. One of the lieutenants, I was his sea dad, or I was part of his like mentoring division when he joined Dartmouth, when he joined the Royal Navy. So yeah, I knew Felix pretty well. But that was a shame. Yeah, he was like the dude that did communicate the down Periscope movie. Edison, you are going to get timed out, so get out. But yes, so let's get rid of that. Let's go back to the Lunar New Year stuff, and let's have a look. I mean, good lord, we're 50 minutes in. I have not even started on the stuff we intended to talk because I'm having such a good conversation. But let's transition across and have a look at what's going on and reactivate my camera. And oh my god, is this getting old? What I might just do while we're talking is I might just restart the software because that seemed to fix stuff last time. So I'm going to restart the software and then see where we go from there. Hopefully that will fix it. If it's not the fact that the camera feels like it's about to become hotter than the surface of the sun. Maybe that'll work. Who knows? Okay, so transitioning across. Magic transition in 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Right. Yeah, so Lunar New Year stuff. I'm just going to whip through this very quickly. Let's look at all the pretty new paints. Do you know what? Citizen Scott, precisely that. American Navy, 78 through 82. Holy moly, sir. Well, thank you very much for your service. Awesome. So we were talking about very different situations, I feel. But yeah, that's cool. I had to pick up the new paints for the 400 eyes has dropped. I love that red. Yep, mate, 100%. Absolutely. Where are we? At DGB Vouchers, found you. Oh, here we go. Oh, he's put it in. Oh, you're a monster. Get out, you. But yeah, hopefully, I don't know if that's you in the Discord or not. But I have just added, whoever's just joined, you now have the community member role. So welcome. Introduce yourself in general chat and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, this is kind of what I meant with the title and the thing of the video, is that, like, I get that they're exercise, these things, all this shit up here. I get that it's an exercise in marketing, and I don't think anyone's surprised by that, right? The hearts are going again. I appreciate it. You know, they look good, don't get me wrong. But I also feel like now, if these are events that are supposed to take place in the universe, like Coramor is Valentine's Day, but it's Star Citizen's way of celebrating Valentine's Day. I feel like some of this could be done in the universe, or at the very least, could give us an ability. So, for example, just as an out there, one of the things they could add to this is, what if, just for Coramor, you could gift stuff that's bought with star credit, but when you gift it, it becomes non-meltable. It's just a gift. It is what it is. So it can't be abused any more than anything else, right? But you can gift stuff to people. So they go, hey, store credit, because like I'm set on $30 a store credit. I don't know what I want to do with it. But it would be really nice to buy someone some armor or some weapons or a paint for their ship or something, just to say, love you lots. That would be cool, right? Even if it's not. So something like that would be really cool. Grab the 100 eye dragon paint, and I don't. Would you like a 100 eye to go with that paint scheme, sir? But yeah, and this is the great stuff, right? You can pick it up for the ships you're going to buy in game. We were talking about this earlier. You know, Shadow Girl and I were talking about this today, and there is so much more they can do. It doesn't need to be stuff in game, although why not? But it just feels like at the moment, a lot of these events, like I really want the Day of the Vara, the Halloween stuff, to have some sort of scary event, and it doesn't need to be a creature. Camera, yay! It doesn't need to be something, you know, with creatures or anything like that in it. just something spooky and scary, and that would be grand. So yeah, Lunar paints are the most impressive on the X1 and the 100i, says Firebrand. Not so much on the 400 and 600 in his opinion. Yep, easiest way for CIG to extract funds from my wallet is to bring out awesome paints. I just need some more paints, man. I just need some more paints. Yeah, I get it, dude. I'm with you. Good idea, Badges. I like it. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Just anything like that. So it's an expression of love in the verse. So allow us to do something similar. That one time of the year. And the great thing about gifting stuff and whatever form it takes, is then it feels a little bit more involved for us. Sure, we know you're going to extract cash from us. You're doing it to get more cash from the community, but also give something back with it, be it missions in game, be it that sort of stuff. And I know we've got that with the Lunar New Year. We've got these things that we can find, but where's Coramor? Where's everything else? So yeah, absolutely. Hey, I may own one someday. 100i, right? Yeah, absolutely that. Envelopes are worth 500 AUEC this year. Are they? Because I spent an awful lot of time finding one today, and I only found one. I feel like that's an inefficient use of my time for 500 UEC. But then again, whatever, right? It's good fun. But I did find one, so there. Yeah, Jock Cop says, all right, mate, on a side note, HMS Diamond pulled into Gibraltar with all the drone kills painted up. Pretty cool. Do you pick up anything in these sales? Wow, I didn't realise Diamond was putting kill markings on her side. Yeah, so for those that are wondering what Jock Cop's referring to, obviously Diamond has been part of the international task force in the Red Sea. Why am I confused? Red Sea, dealing with Houthis firing drones at ships they believe to be connected to the Israel-Palestine conflict, and we've been down shooting them down, right? Which is an interesting situation. Really cool that the international community is reflected like that, but unfortunately the logical extension of that is that where we ended up, which it was airstrikes against Houthi installations ashore, because using multi-million-pound air defence missiles against drones that cost 16 grand is not economically viable in the long term. But yeah, it's really cool that she turned up like that. These sales at the moment, I am tempted. So we'll have a look through the paint. So I have the Pisces, but I'm not tempted for the paint because I've got the really nice Concierge blue one. Thanks again for that, Can. I am kind of tempted to go for the one with the constellation because I feel like that's a really good looking paint. Right, I really like the look of that. I think that might be something that I'll pick up. Other than that, in terms of the ship packages and the ships themselves, no, I've not gone for anything this time round. But I do really like these more kind of involved paints, right? The ones like this 100i, like you were talking about, Scott. I really like these. I think they're kind of cool. But at the moment, not picked anything up for this. And I did pick a couple of the Coramor items up for someone else. But again, for me, not so much. Although, to be fair, there aren't many ships in the Coramor one that I kind of match to. Also, not going to lie, the purple and pink kind of burning my retinas a little at times. But, it's worse in these images than it is in game. So, yeah. But, yeah, again, none of the this stuff. I don't have the Mole or the SRV or the MPUV or the Raft anymore. I did have it, don't have it anymore. Or the Ares or the Hover Quad. I do have an Arrow, but I shouldn't have an Arrow. The Cyclone, the Nomad, the Scorpius, don't own any of that stuff. So, yeah, that's it. The Dazzle paint for my Perseus. I've got the Thundercloud paint. So I don't know if I should kind of click on my account stuff. I feel like that might be a bit risky on a live stream. Also, camera. Oh, this is getting boring, isn't it? But yeah, so I don't have that stuff. You don't need paints, you need a camera. Don't make me slap you, Badgers. Thanks, mate. That's what I love about you. It's your heart. It's your heartfelt, caring nature I appreciate the most. And oh, look, it's just happened again. Because I mucked with it, obviously. Yeah, so, yes, that stuff. Day of the Vara have murderous NPCs running around the orbital stations in armistice zones. What, you can't get away? You've just got to run. Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! As this thing comes at you. Yeah, that's it. I got the Carrick paint for a minute. Then they took and refunded it. They'd actually sold it for $280. Yeah. So yes, and I feel like the reason for that was a whole bunch of people felt the need to go onto the forums and boast about the fact they picked up 10 or 20 of them, which makes them idiots who spoilt it for the rest of us. But yes, I did see that, and they did refund it. It's a bit of a shame, but you know, that it's a nightmare. We are able to gift referral program items like the Dragonfly. I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're like items that are bought with store credit, in that they're not giftable at any point. But I'm not sure. You'll have to tell me, Arcane. Can someone confirm in chat? Slap the side of the camera till it works. Yeah, a little bit of violence like this. Like this. There you go, fixed it. The judicious application of a good slapping, or something. I think it might be because I've been on my computer for most of the day. So it might be just that something's not playing the way it should. Yeah, never mind. What camera do you have? I have the Epoch Camera Pro app running through my mobile. So I have my mobile app, which is doing it. So I have a very high quality camera. It just every so often, I think something mucks up somewhere. That's it. I'm sending you a webcam. No. I'm gonna get the one with the money that Ape sent me. No. Don't stop it. I've got the old webcam. If it's that annoying, I'll tell you what I'll do. Here you go. Right, for the time being, just because I'm a mad lad, right, or I'm not, one of the two. Here we go. I get that it's distracting. It's also distracting me a little. So we're going to try this, okay? Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to change the camera source to this one. It's not as good, but it also does this weird glitchy thing, which is really annoying, which is why I got rid of it. But I'm hoping that's just because it's switching itself on, right? So we'll do that instead. And it'll glitch for a bit, and then it'll do fine, and then every so often it'll freeze. But it's not going to be as frustrating as the other one. Yeah, it's going to do that. So there you go. And then we'll get a proper one in a second, and it'll be fine. I promise. As far as I know, the giftable referral, says AV, was just once by mistake on the Steve. So yeah. Referral words are non-giftable and non-meltable. That makes sense, Ninja. That's what I thought they were. Thank you for confirming that. Yep, only time I've seen that giftable was the STV. Firebrand, oh no, just got on Everest and all the NPCs are naked again. Valentine's. That's just because they heard you were coming, dude. They were like, Firebrand's coming. Everybody get naked. Dropped Yogurt says, as long as we get to hear that sultry voice, I'm quite sure I don't know what you're talking about. I've been watching some of the no pixel server stuff, which is the GTA roleplay. It's got all the really big streamers on it. I don't know, why am I looking at that camera? It's that camera I should be looking at now. I've changed. It's not that one. It's that one. But yes, I've been looking at that and decided that if I was going to go on no pixel, my character would be Earl T. Grey, previously of MI6, previously of MI5, and now a police officer of Los Santos. So yeah, that might be quite good fun. Agent 69. Yeah, so sorry about that. Jadomo, yep, the only time, yeah, sorry, we did say that one. Yeah, so it's just it's just AI doing AI things, right? Yeah, some of this is cool. I mean, I will admit pink, not necessarily my color. I feel like it doesn't bring out my eyes to the right shade. But having said that, really nice stuff in here, and it's kind of cool as well to see that ships coming on sale and doing all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's no bad thing, I don't think. But again, you know, okay, you're doing it to extort. It's not extortion. No one's being forced to buy anything. But you're doing this so as another merchandising and another marketing opportunity. Fine, but then give us something else to do with it as well. And I think that's what I'm saying about with a lot of the events is, other than IE and Fleet Week, it doesn't feel like they bring a lot to the table in terms of the event. They don't seem to, change much in the verse. It just seems to be about money. And for the teams that are making missions and stuff, it feels like they could just add in some stuff and maybe, add in the ability to earn some of this stuff as well during those events and have an increased chance of earning them. I'd also like to see what they did with the F8C. I'd like to see the idea of being able to pick up tokens like the tickets for the F8 Lightning, where you get to have one for a week, but when you pick it up, that's it. It disappears and gives you that ability. And I think that would be really cool as well, because just having the ability to rent like a whole sea for have a whole sea for a week and just get people to try that stuff would be great. And if you pick it up and you don't want it, or if you see it in a crate or on the floor and you don't want it, it should be in the description what ship it is. You tell one of the rest of your party or whatever. But by not having it in your inventory, people aren't going to do dumb things like try and sell it on the grey market like they were with the F8C. I've still got 10 of them in my inventory, those F8C golden tickets. So if anyone needs one, just give us a shout. Hey, I saw your comment. What do you think we'll be able to let org mates pull org ships? It's going to be a long time, dude. Because it's going to need, I think, the whole org thing to be formalised in-game, not just this thing they've got on Spectrum. It's going to be far more involved. They need it. I think a lot of people, and some people in chat here will say the same thing. They've built their fleet not just as not just as opportunities for their own, to use the ships. They bought it specifically so they can outfit their org with those ships and make them available to org mates. So it's something they're really going to have to work on. They can't walk back on that. They can't walk back on the whole idea of not sharing. But then again, you look at things like EVE Online and stuff like that. They have org or corp hangars. They have corp shared ships and that sort of stuff. Different levels of access. So it's not like it's beyond the realms of possibility to put it in. It's not beyond their technical ability. So, unfortunately, I think the answer to that is not going to be soon. I bet we won't see that for a while. Yeah, and I think we'll see. It'll be really interesting to see once they've got server meshing in and working. They'll be working on the dynamic stuff, but a lot of the teams that you wouldn't necessarily think are involved in server meshing are still going to be involved in it, because they are going to be like seeing how their particular areas of responsibility interact. So the mission modules team are going to be looking at going, okay, well, how do we get this to copy across servers? So when you change to a different shard, how does it copy? How do missions work? Do they work with the recovery side of things? I know the camera's throwing a complete spaz, but great. That sort of stuff. So there's more involvement from the other teams in server meshing than I think is immediately apparent. Once that's in, there will be a push to dynamic server meshing, but I think a lot of those other teams will be freed up then to really take a look at other areas. And that might be the point they start to consider putting in orgs. Don't know. I bet they look as that as losing money, so they'll probably drag their feet on it. Oh, what, the org shared ships dropped? That's an interesting take on it, and not beyond the realms of possibility, right? I like the new Argu paints. Look pretty good compared to Tango Orange. Agreed. I really like that it has a paint stuff, but we were saying this earlier, is that actually it doesn't always make sense to have ships like the Raft and the SRV and that sort of stuff be like tactical or stealthy. To have them like really shiny and that actually makes sense from a point of view, because being on a ship with the tugs, you need the tugs to stand out so you know instantly where they are in the dark or whatever. So yeah, I think having industrial and cargo paints that are a little bit more colourful, that makes sense, right? Tactical tugs aren't really a thing in the real world, are they? I realise how that sounded. I regret that. I think org tools will come along with ship rolls maybe when engineering comes in. Possibly. I think it might be a little bit crazy, but yeah. I like the glitz cam. It's cyberpunkish. Yep. I hate it, but I'm sure there's Max Badgehead. Nice. Yeah. I just realised I need more music. We need to pop back into the music kind of things. There we go. I'm saying nothing, says Mad T-Bot. Stop it, you rotter. There's a bunch of people here who, by the fact they're saying nothing, are telling me everything I need to know. Gentlemen, there will be a reckoning. But yeah. And there's also, interestingly, with all of this, there are also some weapons and bits and pieces that came out with this. I think last year in the subscriber store that don't show up immediately here, but they do exist. So stuff like this. So I don't know whether this is linked to Coramor or not, or whether this is just a thing. But yeah. Yeah, Coramor Passion. There you go. So it is Coramor linked. Having a Tugby high vis makes complete sense. And I'm not talking about the second thing. Engineering, medical, and security roles, as they are fleshed out, will really promote multiple gameplay, including blades, AI hires, etc. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think by getting it in for people first, they're going to see what we need our crew to be able to do and what that looks like, because then they can program the AI to fulfill those roles and do that. And I know it sounds obvious with things like turrets and that, but that's not the only stuff that AI crew are going to do. Of course, they're going to do their primary roles of engineer, turret gunner, that sort of stuff. But it's like the other things. It's like, what about the maintenance tasks? What about the cleaning? What about the firefighting and damage control? So they're going to have to kind of look at how we deal with that to then go, well, for the AI to be useful, they at least need to be able to do the roles that the players want rather than what we think the players want. So yeah, that'll be kind of cool. So say what you want about the marketing and stuff. This is the best referral bonus yet. $40 Dragonfly plus the FBS gear is nice. So yeah, let's go to that, right? Let's go and have a look. Let's have a look at the referral bonus. I think it's in Fly Free. Or is it? No, it's not. Where is it? It's hidden somewhere. Here you go. Lunar Year referral bonus. Ta-da! So yes. So here's the referral bonus. You get this suit of armor and the shotgun, and the dragonfly in the background. That is a significant amount of equipment, which is kind of cool. Don't have a dragonfly. Like the look of the dragonfly. I think it looks great. Star Wars kind of speeder bike fantasies fulfilled. But yeah, I think there's definitely things that are there. Definitely worth going. For those that don't know, the referral bonus only works when an account is being created. Once an account is created, the referral bonus thing is wasted. And you can find that within your account itself. It'll give you that, and I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who want referral bonuses. I don't know if I want to do that. No, I don't. But yes, you can go and have a look at the referral bonus scheme, and it will show you things like the more referrals you get, the more stuff you get. So I got the arrow out of mine or the gladius, out of mine and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking that maybe, what do you reckon? Can we get a referral bonus thing going where I get my code out enough so that when it comes to me doing some fleet command videos, when we start getting to that level of Star Citizen, that I have to put my money where my mouth is and fly a javelin? I mean, it's a lot of referrals, right? But if you don't start down that road, you're never going to get there. So what do you reckon? Is that something we can do? Interesting. And if you don't want the Dragonfly, it's a $5 CCU to the CX. Nice. That's a really nice step up. Highest value so far, $54. Awesome. Yep, any ship's close to $50, $75. Easy win with a referral bonus. Yep, and the referral bonuses, remind me, lifetime insurance, question mark? They are, right? So, yeah, some really nice thoughts in there, guys. And if you like to play the CCU game, for those that don't know, the CCU game is a chassis upgrade. So it's a cross chassis upgrade, I think. So when you go to these things, if we go to ship upgrades, you can see my fleet on the left-hand side. At the moment, we've got Steve, which was a referral bonus. Dropped, yeah. So yes, if people do want the referral code, it is down in the description. I've tried to figure out ways to get it on the screen and pop up and that, but you know, I'm not going to force it down people's throats. There are lots of people out there, probably including in chat, who are 1 or 2 away from getting an item from Thingy. So if you want to use theirs instead, by all means, it gives people free stuff. I feel like I got my Gladius, that's great. But if we're going to do this drive to Javelins, then go spam it to everyone and I'll force it down people's throats in videos and stuff. I'm with 3 referrals as Jock Clark. So close to that Javelin. Absolutely. We'll all do that. I'd work as crew on your Javelin. Arcane, thank you very much for saying so, bud. You would all be welcome, of course, as crew on my Javelin. In fact, if that ever happened, I would demand that you guys come and help me and we go and smash stuff in a Javelin in the universe when it happens, right? So, yeah. Sucks having the referral item in your hangar, then it disappears. That's happened once or twice. I did have a Dragonfly. You've never had a referral, Mad Teapot. Teapot, do you know where your referral code is? Please, for the love of God, put it in chat. And if anyone is thinking of getting the game when you create your account, use Teapot's referral code, please, so he can have a referral. That would be great, and to be able to get this as well. But Teapot, put that in chat, my friend, if you know where to find it, so you can have a referral. Please, please, please use Teapot's, not mine in that case. I've got enough stuff, as you can see, kicking around without worrying about that. But yes, for those that aren't aware, if you're watching this afterwards in the video, I'm sure most people in stream are aware of it, but you can then go and have a look at the sort of things that you can upgrade to. Okay, and there are plenty from these referral vehicles of things you can upgrade. It's really good to look during certain events because you'll get certain upgrades cheaper. You'll get more upgrades available because they don't sell all the upgrades all of the time. Those predatory practices again, not selling everything all the time. How very dare they? Yeah, so you can upgrade to stuff in here and then go from there. So they're a good starting off point. And of course, when you upgrade, whatever insurance you had before carries over. So please do that. Yeah, so Teapot's link in the chat there. And the chat replay is on for the videos, so you can see it. Please do that. You also get 5,000 credits out of it when the game goes live. So yeah. I'd imagine most Javelin missions are escorting a BMM or a Vandal incursion. Yeah, they're going to be like Org flagships and all that sort of stuff, but yes. Be very careful about upgrading your referral bonuses. Yeah, so when you get the referral items, you've got to be very careful about upgrading them because you can't melt them. So be very careful. Yeah, really good points to Caragod. Thank you for that. I've never successfully referred anyone, not even my friends. Have you not? You've got to get out there, man. You've got to get these people and be like, dude, you need to, and force them. Literally force them. Or make them create an account with your referral code and then buy them a game package. Wait, does that work? Because the game package, the cheapest game package now, is going to be cheaper, right? It's going to be cheaper than the referral bonus? Hashtag just say it. But yeah, I might just do the alt then gift to main thing, to be honest. Yeah, possibly. I'll be a steward on the javelins as Joe Gub. Absolutely not, man. We're gonna find you a serious role, dude. You know, you're gonna be, I don't know, you're gonna be like captain of the flight deck, or you know, one of the chief gunners, or something like that. We'll get you something cool to do. Um, People waiting on me hand and foot makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like it. I'll do my own washing up, thanks. Um, yeah, you should only upgrade it to like Seattle Cutter Max, I'd say, as a Titan, as long as you break it to $40. Yeah, so the referral bonus only kicks in if someone spends over $40 on their account. If they don't, then you won't. So if they get like a discounted starter pack or whatever, then they don't. Best way I found is to buy some war bonds during events. Yeah, so yeah, I don't want to make it into one of those kind of videos about how to upgrade and stuff, but yes, precisely that. Okay. So yeah, so that is kind of the stuff at the minute that's going on. That's the news here. We're going to go look at the comic because the comic's got some good stuff as well. We need someone to clean the scuppers. Can't sign up today. Do you know one of the daftest things I've seen happen in the Royal Navy is people. There are obviously with metal warps over time, right? And you imagine the pressures of the sea. So there are areas on the upper deck where maybe there's a slight divot. And when you get rain, water will pool there. And obviously, if the water sits there, because the upper deck is salty, because it's the sea, the water will absorb that salt, and it's almost like a very basic form of acid. It will cause corrosion and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, what we used to do was we used to get people out with hoovers that they called wet and dry hoovers, like a vacuum cleaner, and they would suck the water up and then just throw the water over the side to stop that kind of corrosion happening. I've seen people made to do that in the rain, hoovering up puddles in the rain. It's just, yeah. So that was fun. Don't join the Navy. You'd have to be nuts to join the Navy, right, Notorious? But yeah, don't forget to refer your alt first, though, says Target Chain. Yeah, 100%. Ninja's got some skills there. But didn't the if you gift it out of the account, doesn't that remove the referral? Isn't that why I've had referrals go? Does that work? Can someone confirm? That's mental. But yeah, drop yoga. It allows your money to go further. 100%. I'll work any station, says Arcane. Preferably engineering and or medical. Absolutely. And that's the beautiful thing about multi-crew, and that's why I really like it. It's one of the reasons I like the Reclaimer so much, is there are so many different stations, even though you've only got 5 crew, that if you get bored of one thing, you can keep doing the other stuff. So yeah, don't want no fresh water tainting a blue water Navy ship. Exactly that, Target. That's exactly where it is. It works. No, he is right. Oh, okay. Interesting. The gifting trick does work. You've just got to wait 30 days, as Scott. See, this is the thing, is I spend too much time playing the game and not figuring out all the CCU stuff. You know, I think I may execute over an Infrarunners. I made his head pop off when I told him I just bought a Saber outright. He got so angry at me. It was brilliant. To be fair, that was half the reason I did it. I knew he was going to get upset, but yeah. Having a second computer and an alt makes Reclaimer time amazing. Well, look, I'm not going to sit here and advocate people buy second rigs for an alt account. That's too far. It's like, no, stop. But you know, if you have the kit lying around, then why not? But yeah. AV says, I literally buy Warbond CCUs I would buy anyways on an alt account, and boom, get a free gift token with the CCUs I was buying anyways. Only gets taken away if they refund. Interesting. That's a nice tip. I like that, because I've got some Warbond stuff I need to in my buybacks, right? Not Warbond. I've got some CCUs I need to buy back, and a couple of them I think are expensive ones, so I could potentially do that and get myself another referral. That's disgusting behaviour. Badges has poor impulse control. You are not wrong, sir. You are absolutely not wrong. So yeah, that's the CCU stuff. But going through, unsurprisingly and unfortunately, the normal week one that we expect from Star Citizen has appeared in publishing and corporate technology and expanding branding. I just feel like with the branding thing, they've gotten to the stage where there's not much more they can say about branding. It's like once you've had that conversation once, and I get that we get it every couple of years because new people will come along and see it, and I understand that. But you know, it would just be nice to get other stuff, I think, on the on that sort of thing. You know, because as Edison's pointed out a number of times, there's only so many times that you can go through and redesigning logos from different perspectives. You know, so what? Who cares? Yeah, so that. But what I'm hoping to do now, I'm really hoping that this is going to work, because the constant glitching is beginning to knock me off. So I'm going to put you back on this camera and see how it works. So yeah, all the Coramor and all that sort of stuff thrown in, and Lunar Festival and blah, 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 blah. And then we have the roadmap roundup, which is kind of great, right? So the replication layer update is in the EPTU, the test branch. It's having some, from what I understand, some scattered results. There's lots of stuff crashing, not recovering. There's stuff not working when you get in there. If anyone's had different experiences, please let me know. But that's where we are with that at the minute. An add to the 322 patch is Gravlev Racing. So hopefully we'll get Gravlev Racing in here. And so we'll get that before 323, and then added to the next patch. And this is where people go, oh, this is a nothing burger. This is this. And it's like, really? These are the cards added for 323 release. That. Right? Nothing burger. Look at it. That's ridiculous. I don't think we've seen anything like that before in terms of an add of features, right? That's absolutely mental. So yeah, and this is where it gets really interesting. There's a couple of things in here they didn't allude to earlier. So let's have a look. Star map, Mobiglass, FPS map system, personal and instant hangars, yeah, absolutely. Freight elevers, fine. And then this one. This was a bit of a stealth thing, right? Zavath, hey buddy, good to see you, my friend. That's it. That is an entire deck of cards. You're entirely right, sir. But yes, this one's the interesting one. Okay, so the item bank kiosk, the Precision Universe, allowing players to retrieve and store FPS items at multiple locations. I mean, that's kind of what we got now, right? But this is interesting. Lost account-bound items such as subscriber flare. So now the subscriber items that you've had, if you bought armor and whatever else, it is no longer a case of it sits in your collection, because if you take it out and lose it, that's it gone until the next full reset, because of course there's no character recover anymore, so you can't get it back. That has gone away. And interestingly, they've reversed the situation. So now, those subscriber items that you haven't paid for, that you find in crates, the stuff that we were going out with before, that's now going to be the stuff that you don't take out with you. It's going to be all your subscriber stuff because you can just claim it back. So that's really interesting. That's kind of cool. Macho says, some people always want to be negative. Don't worry about this, people. Absolutely, Macho, you're entirely correct. The interesting thing here is that what we've got now is this is us saying, yeah, but this is the difference. When they say, what is the difference now between Squadron 42 being worked on and Star Citizen, this is it. This is the result of devs moving across from Squadron 42 to Star Citizen, right? And yes, a lot of this stuff is already in the game. It's being copied across. And for a while, it's going to slow down again after they've brought all those features while they're developing new stuff. But they're doing so with so many more devs than we had before. So that's that. It's really good. Yeah, so there's that. New missions, cargo hauling, dynamic crosshair, EVA tier 2. So the EVA stuff is the thing to remember with EVA is that it's not the fuel and it's not the traversal. It's not the 0G traversal. The us being able to pull ourselves around and that's coming in that's coming in tier 3 or tier 4. But yes, that's really cool. FPS loot screen, which is really, really cool. That's something else entirely. Rather than having to go in and then click loot and then open all the items and all that sort of stuff, you'll be able to open one menu. You'll see the weapon. You'll see all the attachments on it. You'll see all the items that they have in there. I think it's mainly around weapons right now, but it means that you can go into combat and loot without the risk of being shot while you're stuck in a inventory screen. It's going to be a lot quicker to do, and you'll be able to strip attachments off without being able to customize and all that sort of stuff. So it's looking really good. Really excited for that sort of stuff. Character customizer, I know someone's going to be very happy with that. You've got visor and lens HUD rework, so that's all the helmet stuff. Player compass. So now, rather than going over where you're pointing at your screen, aren't you? I can't see what you're talking about. We're actually going to be able to just give a bearing. Enemy bearing 017. Everyone else turns to 017. Friggin' camera again. We were doing so well. Why iPhone? You're rubbish. It's my fault for buying Apple. I should have learned. But yeah, I have an entire page of subscriber multi-tools. I find allowing about if I lose one, meh. Yeah, exactly that, right? But I also have some very, very nice subscriber or rare helmets and stuff like the Aztalan Tamarack helmet. Love it. Like that's on my armor at the minute. I'm going around in green armor. I kind of look a little bit like Master Chief in it, which is cool. But yeah, there's all that sort of stuff. Interaction overhaul, so Citizen Scott. Absolutely, that's cool. Zavath, with the changes near all the current tutorials are going to be outdated in a couple of months. Yeah, it's the danger of the live game, isn't it? Is that they do all this work and then they change a bunch of stuff and then the work becomes obsolete. Curious how to see how they tuned the quick loop for the PU. Yeah, I think basically it's the weapons and stuff, so it'll just show you the weapons and the ammo and the grenades and stuff that they're carrying. Everything else will be normal loot, which makes sense, right? It's both. Devs coming back over to SC as well. A lot of development on the underlying stuff over the years finally paying off. Tote Drone, absolutely. Don't disagree at all, my friend. That's it. Character customizer, yep. I have the Van Doel helm, says Edison. Yep, there's that as well, 100%. I'm going to miss watching Pete's face planting when Zero Tree Traversal is fixed. Yeah, there is something quite fun about watching a friend line up an absolutely perfect 0G traversal back into the ship, only then to watch them faceplant anyway, because Star Citizen was never going to let them pull it off. Yeah, absolutely. When you want to roleplay as an ugly alien, Edison, you don't need a helmet for that, bud. You're all good. Yeah, so, distribution centers look incredible. Dynamic event blockade runner. So this was the old Ninetales lockdown. That's going to look really cool. Yeah, there's that. Reputation hostility. So basically now certain AI will look at the reputation of a player and they will say, okay, I need to be hostile or friendly or neutral to this individual, and they will behave regardless. So it may to do with trading, it may to do with out and out just shooting at you. So that looks very cool. Yeah, so different friendly fire thresholds and defense responses. So they may not refuse to interact with you, they may shoot you, they may be friendly, all that sort of stuff. Pi, the player interaction, or they call it, I don't know what the PIS thing is for, I keep forgetting, but they keep calling it really daft things in development. But yeah, there's that. So yeah, I mean, and this is the thing where you are going to be able to set a default response when you go over certain items, so guns, set a different one for ammunition or whatever, and you will be able to just see that hover on whatever they're looking at, and you'll just one button press and it'll just happen. You won't have to go into the player interaction wheel, hold that down. It will still be available, but you won't have to do it. Especially, again, when you see a weapon on the ground and you've gone into a bunker with nothing but a knife, you can just pick stuff up quickly rather than muck around. Yeah. Yeah, that Enderscale said the quick loop demo at Citizen Con was Squadron 42. Tune it for the PU to give different items too. Yeah, that'll be really useful. And see the difference between kind of like the very quick grabbing something out of someone's like chest belt or whatever, or a weapon, and the other stuff. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's on the line. You're right. Play interaction system. Got it. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, the piss pie. Every time badgers appear, badgers. When a mushroom appears, mushroom. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we could do a stream drinking game, right? Which is every time I disappear, you guys need to take a shot. Don't. That was not permission or instruction. Do not. I don't want to be responsible for killing everyone. It's happened that often. But yes, snake. Or as Apple would call it, the eye hand cooker. Yep. Do you know what? You're not wrong. And then master modes. Right. Master modes. So, interesting things with master modes. Master modes has now worked its way into the arena commander stuff, right? Which is kind of interesting. So, it's worked its way into the arena master modes. And like things like squadron battle and stuff like that. And it's had a couple of really interesting instant effects. The hammerhead, for example, is now utterly deadly. The weapon range has upped. It's now hitting stuff at 3 to 4k. But it's also, when fighters aren't around to blip around it as much, it is absolutely deadly. And funnily enough, in the mode in which it's been introduced to everyone, where you're spawning in basically already in weapons range, fighters are just getting pummeled by it. And as you can imagine, some of the people who enjoy their light fighters and think their light fighters should be able to kill anything are losing their shit. Right? Because I'm quite frankly, yeah, the hammerhead, if it can't engage one fighter in its immediate bubble and kill it very, very quickly, what is the point of a hammerhead? Now, there are some really interesting problems in that the hammerhead seems to be quite fast for its size, and by fast for its size, I mean that fighters don't seem to go quite fast enough in SCM mode. So, for example, the hammerhead does about 120 in SCM. Fighter seems to do about 170, which is only a 50%, 50 meter a second difference. When your range is 4K, 50 meters a second, it's going to take a long old time to get out of range of that hammerhead. And this is part of what people are whinging about. This is why it's going to become so important in the future to not take that fight in the first place. You don't want to go in and fight with, you want to be aware of your surroundings at all times. You want to avoid the hammerhead rather than fight it. You want to do all of these things, right? Yeah, exactly that, Macho. Vodka's on the rocks. Apes, please don't. Janos, Morrissey, yes, mate, it's been quite a bit. The one thing you haven't missed is me on camera, because my camera is pitching an absolute shit fit at the minute. So yeah, I keep disappearing. Houdini Badger said limited respawns, absolutely. And good evening to you, sir. So yeah, there's been quite a bit covered, but we're just having a look now at the 3 to 23 features. And at the moment we're discussing master modes and where that's left certain ships. So yeah, people are kind of losing their crap over the fact that Hammerhead is now doing exactly what you'd expect the Hammerhead to do, which is butcher fighters in a one-on-one situation, right? And the problem there becomes that people who, up until now, for the last 3 years, have had their light fighters kill everything. You can solo an Idris, right? Are now getting used to the fact that their ship can't do everything. So they're losing their crap. Unfortunately, a lot of them are fairly significant streamers with quite a reach. So while Macho is 100% correct, they are a small part of the community. They're also very vocal and they have a significant reach. Target, no, don't turn this into a... Jesus Christ, as I'm saying it, I disappear off screen. God damn, stop doing it. Do not drink. I do not want to be responsible for ending anyone today. Stop it. You're all monsters. You're stressing me out here. You rotters. Oh, God. Jesus. Right. I think, to be fair, it's not going to play that game. I think I need to go back to the other... So, you were there, and now... you are there. So yeah, we're just going to have to deal with the interruptions and stuff, right? It's just going to... I'm going to transition to the other one. So me dropping in and out is not going to be as much of a problem. And in fact, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that. Let's have a look. Just because it's so bad it's distracting me, so God knows what it's like for you guys. I'm just going to do that. And we'll just talk about this. There we go. Ta-da. You heard him. He said, Drake, Badger's using Helgren's camera. You're not wrong, sir. It's just, yeah. Those light fighters are going to Turkey. Their addiction is no longer supported. Agreed. Burger Pops. I waited this in so many years. First of all, welcome, Burger Pops. I don't know why I saluted. You guys can't see me anymore. That was an immediate reaction. But thank you very much for joining the stream. Yeah, it's one of those things that it just... People have been used to being overpowered for so many years, and why it's so satisfying is, for years, they've told us to suck it up. People with hammerheads have been told to... Oh, Jesus, Teapot. Stop it! Alright, I'll come back then. There we go. Jesus. But, you know, we've been told to suck it up. We've been told, oh, well, you know, boo-hoo, they'll change it eventually. And now they've changed it. People are losing their shit. Unfortunately, some of these are doomsaying, and they're taking the fact that it's happening in a very closed environment as the way it's going to happen all the time. And that's clearly not the case, right? You're going to see these things coming. It only works in out mode. You can obviously change to nav mode and boost away from stuff. And, you know, people go, yeah, what happens if they got a Mantis? A Mantis and a Hammerhead are designed to kill fighters. So, of course, they're going to smash you. Yes, it needs to be slower. And by slower, I mean fighters' top SCM speed needs to be increased a certain amount. But, you know, a couple of changes being required is very different to, oh, they're ruining the whole thing. Well, no, they're not, actually. And people will say, well, where's that written? Really easy. Go into that mode now, and at the bottom, across the bottom of the screen, it says, this is a test mode and not indicative of final gameplay. You are literally staring at it while you play the game. Stop it. And I don't mean you guys, I mean these streamers. So they need to grow up a little bit, frankly. It's not as simple as X ship versus Y ship, way more to it. Exactly, Citizen Scott, and thank God for that, otherwise it would be boring. Target Jones says, them salty tears taste the sweetest. They kind of do. It's fun watching fighters realise their place. I love the fact that it froze on that, that's great. S-Backs, yes, Discord, welcome dude. And once you're in, you won't have immediate access to anything, but I will come and find you. And I will give you the correct role. So once you're in there, I will find a way to automate it at some point in the future. One day, I will automate my Discord server, but it is not this day. So yeah, if you're in, just let us know, and yeah, we'll see from there. All right. Yeah, that's cool. Um, yeah, so that's kind of really what I wanted to say about master modes, is that please remember, when you feedback and do feedback about master modes, just do it in a constructive way. You've heard me say this about other things. You know, the bitching and the doomsaying, it just makes you out to be a bit of a child, actually. Um, you know, the immediate, oh my god, everything is um, that's just childish. People don't need to do it. Um, so don't do it, frankly. Um, but yeah, we shall see. And that's where we are. That's all the news that we've got. It's been quite a hectic couple of days. There's obviously the monthly report as well. Now, in the last 15 minutes, I don't know that there's enough time to go through everything. But these are, if you're wondering where certain things are, these are really, really kind of useful to get into. So, yeah. One of the interesting things, I think, just going through and grabbing the bits that I like, is this bit here. I'm going to try and get in a little bit closer so you can actually see what I'm looking at. But it's this bit here, which is then looking into the impact of structural salvage on the in-game economy. One of the things I'm hearing time and time again from salvages, I don't know, because I like to hull strip anyway. I kind of like the chill out part of that gameplay. But I keep hearing that it's not actually worth stripping the hull down. You make more just fracturing stuff apart and deconstructing it and all that sort of stuff. Now, value obviously in game doesn't have to be through credits, and I would imagine the RMC, the recycled material composite, which is what you're hull scraping, that's going to have specific uses, like in base building, where you won't be able to do certain things or build certain things without that material, and that's a way of changing its value to be not just credits but other ways, and then players would buy it off each other and that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, just looking through. So, Fighter Jocks all emotional. Yeah, that's it. Macho says, funny thing, I told them a long time this would come. If they cry now on the forums and YouTube, it's all I'm used to getting the old mechanic that would change eventually. 100%. They're beginning to realise that actually fighters have a role, but it isn't the role they think. Fighters' role is not to kill everything. Fighters' role is to protect the larger ships from bombers and torpedo boats and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I predict the travel times will increase eventually also, says Macho. As soon as they have this engineering and base building ready, the need for long travel times will come, so you don't feel them be right there again, 100%. SBAC says, I think the hit and run tactics currently employed by the sweats is not as fun as a brawl mode master mode might bring. PvPers will still be able to be good. Sheesh, absolutely. Master modes exist because most players can control their speed, but it accomplishes the goal with a sledgehammer when a screwdriver would suffice. Potentially, yeah. I mean, one of the things that it does do, apparently, in testing, and we'll have to see if that works for us, is it brings everything closer, and people just kind of get involved and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, it gives chance for, you know, a little bit more, I don't want to say predictable. I don't know if that's the right word. Is predictable the right word? I don't think predictable is the right word, but you get my point, right? It's a little bit more structured fighting, so that's interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, so there's various speeds being bandied around and that sort of stuff, and I think, you know, we'll see. And then what I thought the pilots would go one-on-one Iranian commander, just like in World War II. I mean, no. That says it's got the more to it than servers don't like the high speed because it causes a lot of desync. Potentially. Yeah, exactly that. But yeah, so do we know whatever happened to Tony Z? Zaveth, I think they've got him locked in somewhere. I think he's basically somewhere that they're not going to let him out, and they're not going to, you know, allow him to interact with the public too much. But yeah, you know, a lot of this stuff is, you know, read through it at your own kind of leisure if this is the sort of thing that you are interested in. What I really like about this is the fact that there is an absolute mammoth core gameplay section. Okay, including Maelstrom, the dynamic destruction system. Okay, there's bits and pieces in there. There's Arena Commander. There's streaming bubbles. There's all sorts of bits and pieces. So streaming bubbles will be part of the way that Arena Commander will be able to bring actual locations over from the verse without them having to be reworked. So it'll be much quicker to bring those across. Yeah, some great shots of some of the dynamic locations. The distribution locations and some other bits in the works as well. So there's work on Siege of Orison, and to be honest, the Siege of Orison, I'd have to say, as a post action report or after action report, that actually Siege of Orison seems to be working much better this time around. The issues seem to revolve around whether or not the AI was working. Sorry, the AA was working, not whether the AI would respond to you, or whether people would spawn in walls, or whether we'd get the codes or not, or whether we'd be able to access the iffy containers. Like I said, the two that we did as a community on Friday, 2 Fridays ago, that worked really well. We got 2 decent runs in. No one spawned in walls. We didn't have to cheese to get anything. Yeah, really, really good event, and I think everyone kind of enjoyed themselves. And we had a good time. I think it was 9 of us in the end. It was a really good run, really good group. Tony Z spawned inside a wall, said Teapot. Yeah, that absolutely. Yeah. That stuff. So yeah. They can't get him out. That's it. Tony Z has evolved to be the Matrix equivalent to the Source for SC Quantum. Yeah, he's basically done that whole Lucy thing where he's now evolved to a higher state of being, and he's quantum somewhere. He's some form of human digital computer. For those that don't know, Tony Z is the guy that gave us the Quanta brief and all that sort of stuff in the background. There's been some speculation because we haven't heard anything about Quanta. About where that work is and where it's in the grand scheme of things. I would imagine that Quanta work now cannot go ahead because server meshing is the blocker, because until you know how the servers are talking to each other, you can't work on Quanta. Not in any real capacity. So yeah, interesting stuff. Yeah, there's not much else in there, that is worth talking about without me going through it all. And we definitely do not have time for that. Also, I missed my opportunity to eat before the stream this evening, so I will be eating afterwards. And I need to get that food ordered at some point in the near future. So yeah, that's going to have to happen at some point soon. This is more controversial than Brexit, says Zaveth. Dude, I don't even know where to go with that comment. I just can't. Evolved into a salamander. So yeah, there's that, right? Lots of conversation in the Eton stream. So you may or may not know, Scott, the rules in the channel, in the Discord. One of them is, because it's my pet hate, is if I have to listen to you eat, I will just yeet you out of the voice channel. I hate it. I hate watching streamers who eat, because listening to people eat, there's nothing worse. Even if you try to eat quietly, there are still the "what are you, professional and civilized?" Right? I know. I don't claim to be either. However, I am not going to subject you guys to the sight of me eating, because there ain't no coming back from that. There is not enough bleach in the world to get that image out of your head. If you see me at CitizenCon, you can watch me eat. I can't guarantee you'll enjoy it, but you can watch me eat. So I like it. The louder, the better. You're a wrong'un, Scott. You are just a wrong'un. There's something wrong with you, dude. But yes, so yeah, I don't like doing that on stream. I like focusing on you guys and stuff, and not worrying about whether or not I'm pouring food down myself. So yeah, Oh, lol. Is it like nail scratching a chalkboard, or is it because you visualize it? No, it's so apparently there's a condition called misophonia, right? And misophonia is basically the inability to tune out certain sounds. Like, you know, when you hear something and you don't like it, and you just tune it out, right? I can't do that. I mean, I haven't been officially diagnosed or anything. I don't think it is a diagnosed like condition, but I can't. Once I hear it, I can't tune it out. And really bad sounds for me are sloppy eating. So, yeah, like reverse ASMR. That ASMR where they lick the microphone. Honestly, I can't. I have to take the headset off. It becomes physically painful, and this is part of it. Is that it evokes a very real physical response. So you'll watch me clench. I go like that, and after a while, I've got to. I've either got to break something or take the headset off. It's weird. If you haven't figured this out already, I'm not a normal person by any stretch of the imagination, but I can't do it. Limited respawns. Rumours say sitcom is in Manchester. I too have heard those rumours. My concern is they come from leaks, and leaks is sometimes full of shit. If, however, the rumours prove to be true, I will do everything in my power to get a ticket. I want to go to SitCon, and I would love to see you guys there. If I make it, I'm buying you a whiskey. Response, I would love to see you there. I will be wearing the hoodie. I look like this. Clearly, I'm not going through a face filter. I love that it paused there as well. That was just like, see. But yeah. So yeah, there you go. He's a phoner, Noah worker welder. Yeah, and I'm not Italian, Del. Jeez, why you gotta be so racist, man? My wife has that. She gets pissed hearing people crinkle rappers. Dropped. Yes, that. So it's noxious. Gets me ranty, baby. You are a wrongin. Stop it. Badges just doesn't want to see us move it. Teapot, I don't use a bib, I don't use hands. I just put it all in a big bowl and I just slam my face into it repeatedly until I'm finished eating. That's like how I roll. Right, this got really, really weird all of a sudden. So I think that's probably a good place to call it, right? I feel like that's not a bad place to go. Do you know what? Let's stop doing that. Because now I'm really creeped out and stuff. But yeah, I think that's not a bad place to call it. But yes, I'm really hoping that we will be able to meet up at CitizenCon if it is in the UK. If it ends up being in Germany, I'm likely to try and be there too. But yes, Zala says, quick question, bespoke. It seems to be an Aussie UK word we don't use in the state. Customer tailored for. Yeah, so bespoke is something uniquely designed for one thing or one purpose. So it has a bespoke clutch. It'll be a clutch you wouldn't find anywhere else, for example, to use a car example, right? So there's that. But yes, exactly that. But yeah, cool. Well, anyway, guys, it's been great. We have like 34 people in the stream. This is setting new highs, so it's really good to see you all. I think it's gonna be a really good year. I'm hoping to get that back in Blizzard video out to you soon. I will as soon as I can, and then hopefully I'm looking at doing quite an in-depth look at the Polaris before it comes out, and then I'll do a naval officer reviews afterwards. We'll look at the Polaris and the Hammerhead in quick succession, and I'll start looking at ships from a naval officer's perspective and giving you that insight into them. And I'm hoping that you guys will really enjoy it. But yeah, that's the plan for the next couple of months. We'll get that done. I will always see you here on Sundays 9 to 11 UK time. Again, if you're still in here, Ape in Space, my friend, your generosity has humbled me this evening. I feel very lucky to have all of you here. It's very, very kind of you. Guys, you've been watching Drinkers with Gaming Problems. Thank you very much for stopping by. I'll see you soon.